your money stack.
Hey guys, Ace here, welcome back to The Beat Stop. Last year I did a video on the craziest live stream locations of 2020, and I wanted to do a part 2 of that video because some really awesome sets have come out since then, and I also just wanted to include live streams that took place before the pandemic, before live streams surged in popularity the way that they did. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, but before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. So for this list, I'm looking for the most unique, creative, and just breathtaking locations where DJs have performed a live stream, and I'm somewhat considering how difficult it must have been to perform that set with the level of production that they had at that specific location. And just a heads up, a lot of these places are located in Europe, and I'm almost certainly gonna butcher at least a couple of them, so pardon my French in advance. Alright, so let's get right into it. Number 10 is Tchami and Dr. Fresch at the Batcave. Tchami and Dr. Fresch played a 45-minute back-to-back set for Digital Mirage Friendsgiving towards the end of last year, and they filmed it in the Batcave from the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight series. I'm a total superhero nerd, so I'm not gonna lie, this made the list probably due to my bias towards the superhero genre. The Dark Knight trilogy in particular is just like one of the best superhero trilogies out there. But that aside, I think just performing at this location with the pop culture significance was a worthy and fun entry at number 10 on this list. Number 9 is Zhu performing on the Billings Locomotive. Zhu performed on a moving train as part of Tito Vodka's Made to Order Virtual Festival, a benefit event for the World Central Kitchen. The set visuals featured aerial shots of the moving train trekking through desert and grass landscapes, while the performance itself featured accompanying performers and live instruments. This set was also cool because the cameras that were filming Zhu and his band inside of the train car were all handheld and moving, so it felt very dynamic and intimate as opposed to most live streams that focus on a fixed camera pointed right at the DJ. Not gonna lie, when this set was announced, I thought Zhu was gonna perform on top of the moving train, which would have just instantly put this at the top of my list, but in retrospect, I realize how absurd that is. But Zhu delivered a top tier set, so I am not disappointed. Regardless, I think performing on any moving vehicle definitely deserves a spot on this list. Number 8 is Sébastien Léger. Sébastien Léger at the Pyramids of Giza. This set was produced by Circle, a company that specializes in producing DJ sets at unique locations. And just a heads up that several entries on this list, as well as the part 1 video, feature sets produced by Circle. For this set, French producer Sébastien Léger performed at the base of the Great Pyramids of Giza in Egypt. It was a really groovy house set at one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, so this location made my list because of the spectacle at being at such an iconic ancient location. Number 7 is Pendulum at Spitbank Fork. Spitbank Fork is a former Victorian military base off the south coast of England. It's over 150 years old, and it's now a luxury island hotel. While it's not the most outrageous place to perform, this made my list because they incorporated the existing structure as part of their lighting and laser design, making the island look like some kind of EDM mega venue floating in the water, viewable from the residents in the city nearby. I would have loved to have seen this in person, even if from across the water, so this set places nicely at number 7 because of their use of AV production as part of the island setting. And number 6 is Diplo at the Sydney Harbour Bridge. I thought this was such a cool location because, well, like it's sitting on top of a famous bridge. To see the Sydney skyline, the harbor, and the cars and boats moving below must have just been a really surreal urban sight. And what made this extra special is they featured a small audience who joined Diplo on top of the bridge. All of them were strapped in as they danced along to the performance. And number 5 is Nicola Cruz at Iguazú Falls. This was another Circle produced set, and it brought Nicola Cruz to the Iguazú Falls in Argentina. It's one of the largest single waterfalls in the world and the largest waterfall system in the world. This set is ranked purely for its breathtaking location. I've never seen a waterfall before, and if you watch the video, he's performing on a deck that is near the edge of the cliff. He's like so close to the waterfall itself that you can see rainbows forming over the moving water as it drops off. It's gotta be one of the most gorgeous things to see in real life. The location was matched with Cruz's sound as he performed a very tribal house heavy set, making the sounds really match the settings for the whole 90 minutes. So before moving on, just know that these last 4 all feature mountain locations locations, but they each did something different that I factored into how they were ultimately ranked. Number 4 is Kygo at the Sunmøre Alps. So Kygo just performed this weeks ago for Moment House, which is a platform that produces ticketed live stream virtual performances. He performed this set at just over 5,000 feet, and even though it was the lowest altitude of these mountain locations, I think what is definitely noteworthy is his level of production. It was reported that he spent 100 grand of his own money to make this happen, and unlike the next 3 on this list, the performance included lights, pyro, and even a piano, which was transported via helicopter for this live stream. Number 3 is NTO, and get ready for my French, he performed at a place called the Dents du Midi, which is a mountain range in the Alps. He performed at an altitude of over 7,400 feet. What made this set especially unique was that NTO performed the set on this floating platform. Kind of looked like a lily pad in the middle of a lake in the mountains. So it was a cool twist on an already ambitious setting, and one that placed this set confidently at number 3. Number 2 is NHOAH at the Stairway to Nothingness. NHOAH performed 9,000 feet above sea level in the Austrian Alps. It took a year of playing to coordinate this, and also featured live vocals from Lulu Schmidt and Ina Viola throughout the set. On top of a near 5-digit altitude, what made this location special was he performed on a bridge called the Stairway to Nothingness. It's comprised of a 100-meter bridge that leads to a descending staircase and ends with a glass platform hanging over a 1,300-foot drop below. I am absolutely terrified of heights. It's like my #1 fear, so things like this just scare the crap out of me. So maybe it's that fear that's making this feel so spectacular, but regardless, I think it's hard to ignore what a feat this must have been to perform a set at a place like this. And finally, number 1 for the craziest live stream locations is the Blaze performing at the Aiguille du Midi in the French Alps. So for this set, dance duo The Blaze performed at this tourist destination over 12,000 feet above sea level in the French Alps. This is at the top of this list because, well, it literally tops everything else on this list. The Blaze performed at a whopping 12,000 feet high. They were so high above sea level that they were even nestled above the clouds. And with the sunset on the horizon, it looked like they were performing in heaven. Their placement above the clouds and breathtaking views of the sunset and world below make this my #1 pick. So that is my list of the craziest live stream locations. Let me know what you thought of my ranking in the comments below, or if there were any sets that I missed that you think I should check out. Once again, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. My name is Ace Antonio, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.